G-Shock fans around the world are scrambling to get their hands on the 40th anniversary models, whether it's the recrystallized higher end versions or it's the budget-friendly all-black series, or in my case, it's the MIP squares. There's a G-Shock for everyone who wants to get into this celebration. However, you have to keep in mind, G-Shock is constantly releasing other series in conjunction to this, as they always do. But this one in particular is actually equally interesting and secretly innovative. Find out how. This new series, called The Forgotten Future, is a reference to the perceived sci-fi-esque advancement from the 80s, filled with flying DeLoreans and metal minimalist aesthetics. The collection consists of mainly familiar G-Shock models done in a dominant metallic silver tone. These include the GA700, GA21 and 2200s, and of course the 5600 square. Let's look at their features, starting from the bland to the most interesting. First is the GA700. This is an all-silver metallic variant with black accents and buttons. It reminds me of Robocop for some reason, and it's easily the simplest of the bunch. The subdial has this little silver blue tint to it to break up the monotony ever so slightly. Next is the GA2200, the nerdy sister of the prom queen Casio. This is toned in light purple, giving it a different personality from the rest. The inner case is done in white, but what's cool about this is the transparent subdial and indexes. These are very rare to find in G-Shock models. Then there's the all-silver Casio. This new configuration boasts a silver body with a silver dial. This also uses a positive display to really double down on the metallic aesthetics. Then there's the dial that's done in a metallic finish. Prior to this release, you can only have the finished dials on the 2100 series if it's on the premium metal models or on the solar variant. So, if you're in a tight budget and you're craving for a metal Casio, this one could scratch the itch. Lastly, it's the biggest one that comes in the smallest profile, the DW5600FF. Like the others, this has a silver body, positive display, and mirror finish faceplate. This kind of faceplate has been done before, but that display is hiding something very special. G Central reported this when they noticed that while the rest of the promo images seemed unassuming, when they look at the backlight shot, they notice something different. This model is not using an EL backlight, but rather an LED. This now creates a unique effect. During daytime, it may look like your typical positive display, but when it's dark and lit, the LED light plays off the numerals, making them lighter than the background, reversing the screen effect. This is actually very cool. It has since been confirmed that this will carry a new module, the 3525, while the previous models used the 3229 modules for years. But this is not just a visual change. It also improves the battery life from 2 years to 5. G-Shock did to this line what we actually are asking for from the MIP squares. All we're really asking are simple grade improvements without adding any compromising features such as this. This series may have been from a future that could have been, but it's the silent, somewhat forgotten principles of innovation that I find more compelling and ultimately more interesting. So what do you think? Is this really an innovation, or am I just exaggerating once again because it's a G-Shock video? Comment down below and let's discuss. Well, when it comes to the watch world, when there's a new movement that's being released, the brands usually make a big deal out of it. They have these press releases, they talk about the innovation that they put into their movements, because it does take a lot of effort and research and development to get these new movements, well, developed. But in G-Shock terms, it's kind of different because they do this quite often. It tends to be not mentioned at all. But at the same time, once we do catch them, it's kind of nice to see that, like for example, G Central caught that difference with regards to the LED display. And this is actually quite significant because the jump from 2-year battery life to 5-year battery life is significant. And not to mention, that new display is quite interesting compared to to the green or bluish green EL light that kind of deteriorates in time. But this one, the LED, doesn't. So I think that's a pretty big deal that G-Shock secretly snuck under our noses because of this 40th anniversary that's getting all of the buzz. What do you think? Comment down below. Let me know.